welcome one and all to the ninth installment of the Long Overdue podcast. I am your host, Alan 4G. My typical co-hosts, Mac D and A705, are busy at the moment. I'm not in a safe house, right? I'm not under witness protection or anything. I'm definitely on a government list. This is just my dining room. We're just changing settings for one day. Everybody just mark me safe. I'm chilling. It is now June 15th, so it's been about 2 weeks since the California primaries. Let's start with the most uneventful information first. The gubernatorial race. Why is it the least important? Is because none of these people are going to hold any weight in Congress, and thus they can't block the actual heinous shit that's happening at the federal level. But the importance of the governor's seat, besides signing off assembly bills, is just good PR for the state. Now let's look at the results as they've been pretty much tallied. We're at a 98th percentile of all California votes tallied, according to AP News. Allow me to go over the results. In the lead, we have Javier Becerra at 2,566,414 votes, which is 28.1% of the total vote. So congratulations to Javier. You slid by. To add some context, in California, the Hispanic community makes up the highest percentage of minorities at 40%, and we make up 20% of the entire voting base. It's definitely something you would need to shill to if you are looking to win in California at all. In second place, we have the fish and chips motherfucker, the eats bean and toast every day looking ass Steve Hilton, the Republican front runner. That was this random British dude got Trump's endorsement just essentially to insert himself into the way we do things here in California. So whatever, Steve Hilton is the runner-up at 2,259,445 votes, 4-point difference between him and Becerra. The most important part about this election is just the fact that it is inevitable that Javier Becerra wins, mathematically speaking. Every single mainstream Democrat that ran in this election, of which there were way too many, the likes of Tom Steyer, Katie Porter, Matt Mahan, along with a couple others, notably from the Peace and Freedom Party, Ramsey Robinson, most likely all of his votes will go to Javier, and as well as all the people that wrote in Butch Ware, which was a Green Party candidate. Both Ramsey Robinson and Butch Ware running the most progressive campaigns in our state, but unfortunately Butch Ware didn't make it on the ballot, so people weren't confident in his ability to win. That being said, he still amassed about 300,000 loyal followers, of which probably netted him 100,000 votes that are unaccounted for in this polling. So we can expect those votes to go to Javier as well. Before any dumb motherfuck Republican fucking tells you that the election is rigged, the election was stolen, that there's election interference and bullshit right there, through Tom Steyer alone, Javier Becerra will inherit 2,086,209 votes. Chad Bianco on the 4th only had like 500,000 votes. Since then, he's amassed another 400,000. Chad Bianco is only going to give Steve Hilton 932,008 votes and counting, technically, whatever is 2%. It's not going to make a dent. I guess the main takeaway from this, Steve Hilton will barely peak over 3.1 million votes out of all of Chad Bianco's voter base and all the other scraps to pick up. Javier Becerra will be very, very close to 5 million votes. Along with the 2 million votes he's going to acquire from Tom Steyer's base. Katie Porter, she netted around 400,000 votes. And Matt Mahan also garnered 300,000 votes, and so on and so forth. Javier's looking at over 5.2 million votes, and Steve Hilton's not even going to come close. Again, for you dumb shit, stupid motherfuckers that can't do fucking basic math, Steve Hilton is gonna lose inevitably by at least 1.5 million to 2 million votes. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Maybe y'all should fucking move from this state if you're really bothered by that, but the election is not rigged. This is simply how the results have ended up. There's no argument there, so there's honestly no reason to be looking at the gubernatorial race any further. So congratulations to Javier Becerra. He's more than likely a milquetoast, do nothing nopal. He's gonna just operate in silence, similar to Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles has been for a really long time. The same thing as Gavin Newsom has basically done quietly within the state until like the past 2 to 3 years. He's gonna be a quiet, do nothing, a paper pusher that, at least there's gonna be less hate crimes. Whether or not he's going to be a stern defense against ICE raids that are inevitably going to come in the future before the 2028 election is yet to be seen, but whatever, dude. We're just gonna pray that our nopal isn't a fucking op, even though he's already taken millions of dollars from super PACs, special interests, and private companies. Chevron, Uber, Facebook, he's taken millions of dollars from all these companies. So we basically just voted in a NASCAR driver as our governor. Right? I don't know what to tell you. Like, identity politics is important. Mainstream politics is important. The way the mainstream media presents stuff to the Latin community it just makes the results incredibly decisive, especially if the new generation isn't going to educate their parents coming in. I'm talking Gen Z, talking to millennials talking to Gen Xers about the importance of actually paying attention to the details and why taking corporate PAC money is bad. It means, they're basically already sold. If you want environmental policies to have cleaner energy and sustainable future for your children, guess what? Becerra's probably not going to get that done for you. You probably voted it in because you weren't paying attention. A comical note is that, dude, let's see. Okay, 98%. I'm gonna check that shit right now. Oh my god, Thunder Parlay almost got 3,000 votes. That's hilarious. On the day of the primary election, about 16,000 dumb motherfuckers voted for Eric Swalwell. That's fucking ridiculous because one, he already got caught doing a fucking Bill Cosby and roofing and then sexually assaulting a woman. He would have gotten away with it too if he hadn't recorded it, but that's how these fucking neoliberals operate. They're just like, well, I'm still gonna vote for him because whatever bullshit the DNC is trying to push. He was their guy and then he fucked it up and he withdrew and you dumb motherfucker still fucking voted for him. How stupid can you motherfucking be, dude? This is gonna go to a lot of the Democratic leadership because I'm part of a lot of these groups. I'm part of a lot of these signal chats. I'm within the interlopings of all of these quote unquote, left of left or semi-progressive movements, and all of the leadership, like at least at an individual level, like between counties, is staunchly fucking afraid of just losing that. They don't really care about the reputations the individuals they vote for have set forth for themselves, and whether or not that's negative press and whether it inevitably leads to their downfall. They really do not give a shit. I, as an organizer, have taken the position of handing out early voter information to try to get this information out to the public as fast as possible. And I will tell you that each and every single one of my organizations has denied the distribution of my information, even though it was correct. The fuck up. If you have intelligent members that are willing to work with you and give you additional information ahead of time, so that way we can collectively vote someone that's progressive in, and maybe you should fucking listen to them next time. Anyways, we're gonna get Becerra. All the fucking white liberals are gonna be fucking pissed about that. Doesn't matter. Well, you gave yourself no option because you don't want to listen to any other viable option. So that's on you guys. It's whatever. I just want harm reduction in the state as well. I don't really give a fuck about the gubernatorial results. I care about more the congressional candidates that are going to actually produce blocks against the Trump administration. Has a zero tolerance for AIPAC lobbyists, any other type of foreign aid that doesn't promote us domestically, and any type of random funds that get generated to either engorge the wealth of the Trump family or whatever. The future is in our hands. All you have to do is either pay attention or listen. And if you're not going to pay attention, you better fucking listen. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep doing this in-depth research. If you don't fucking listen to me because you're an organization lead that's fucking playing committee right now, you're playing fucking student union, you're fucking playing young Democrat in this race that's absolutely not a game anymore. Be my fucking guest, dude. Shoot yourself in the foot. I don't give a fuck. All right. And so let's then go into California's individual districts. So these are the districts that we're going to need to flip. We're going to need to flip District 1, District 5, District 20, 27, 40, 48, and that's it. We're going to have to do better because AIPAC money is everywhere. AIPAC has infiltrated our California elections so rapidly that they were able to blitzkrieg us at $4 million a candidate. This is unacceptable, right? This is un-American. I don't know why we allow this to happen. And the only way to combat this is to educate ourselves further. While I am aware of some of the progressive candidates that aren't AIPAC pilled, we got some dubs, but I'm not going to lie. Shoykat Chakrabarty should have won San Francisco. He should not have gotten third place. Why did he lose? AIPAC money. This is going to be a reoccurring story, and we're going to try to give you guys more information, but it's going to be difficult. For the people of Sacramento, my Vang in District 7 ended up in the lead. She at 65,267 votes, which was 31.2% of the votes in her district, finally triumphing over Doris Matsui. I know my Vang is a progressive candidate. She doesn't take AIPAC money. She wants to abolish ICE. My Vang is someone we're going to have to push to the finish line. So if you live in Sacramento 7th District, I really, really want you guys to pay attention to her and promote her. Don't promote early. don't burn out. But the closer and closer we get to November, I'm talking like the very last half of August. Like we got to hit the fucking paint. We got to hit the ground running. Like we need to flood the feeds and get these people elected because these are our true allies, right? These are the people that are not going to switch up on us because we do have a lot of ops. We still haven't even been able to unveil all of them yet. Us at the Long Overdue podcast, we're going to try to do our part in unmasking those villains for you. But for right now, we have to just go with what we know. So Mai Vang ended up the top of her district, and Mai Vang needs to win. Encourage all of you guys in District 7 to really, really, really push for her and go the extra mile, advertise for her, collab with her. Do any means necessary to put her in the light that she radiates and deserves, that she's willing to reflect back to the people. Mai Vang is ahead in District 7. We love that. Adam Gray in District 13, which is my district, came out ahead, and thank God fucking Vin Crutaventi lost. Vin Crutaventi, we've done an entire episode on this. He was an op from the start. He doesn't even come from here. He lives in like fucking, I don't know, Elk Grove or Pleasanton or some shit like that. He's not from our fucking district. He came here because he couldn't beat Eric Swalwell over there, so he thought that we would be pushovers. And no, we're not pushovers. You bring someone like Matt Gaetz here to our city, we're gonna fuck you up. And thank God I didn't really have to go through a smear campaign. Vin Crutaventi got 14,000 votes at the end of the day. He only got 100 votes more than Daniel Garibe Rodriguez, which is a young up-and-comer. He's a name that's probably going to pop up in future elections, and I really hope Adam Gray passes the torch to Daniel. Daniel, you ran a good campaign. I'm glad that you toured Central California and you really showed up for the community, showing up to all community events and trying to proliferate your message at a local level and meeting the people where they are. I think you just got to do more of that. I think you lost just because being the candidate with the least experience. If you work under Gray, gain a little bit of experience, and then distance yourself from some of the things that kind of keep Gray in a box, I just suggest that you work under him and you try to get his endorsement because he can't be in office forever. Try to learn a lot more about what goes on in this county, and I guarantee you you'll win eventually. So please continue to run, Daniel, and if you have any questions, just ask me. I'll try to help you out in whatever areas that I can. Like, I'm sorry I kind of gave you the short end of the stick this run. Some things came up, but we'll try harder in the future, okay? The runoff election for District 13 is Adam Gray versus Kevin Lincoln. Kevin Lincoln being the Republican candidate. Adam Gray is about 2,000 votes ahead of Kevin Lincoln, a little bit less than that. Currently 40,779 votes for Gray and 26,992 votes for Lincoln. Each of them is going to acquire around 15,000 votes. Hopefully more Democrats show up in the midterms and we should be okay. Unfortunately, we're going to elect Adam Gray as the incumbent. He's taken about $400,000 from AIPAC lobbyists within his career. Sometimes you could look the other way and say, hey man, that's like just like travel money as a pseudo ambassador, similar to Jasmine Crockett, but Jasmine Crockett was a fucking op, right? So just to keep the peace, we'll be okay with that outcome. Again, there's nothing to be excited about, but that's what we got. So Ro Khanna of District 17, as the incumbent, has won his district again. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Ro Khanna has been overseeing his district of Silicon Valley for I don't know how long now. So it's not an accident that Ro Khanna ended up back in his seat, and it's not a fucking accident that in late stage capitalism we have tech billionaires trying to create a mass surveillance state without any oversight. What does Ro Khanna do to put safety, like regulations on AI within his state? Look that shit up. I don't know. It has to be close to zero because it really feels like all of these tech billionaires that own all these social media companies, that own all these mass surveillance companies, it feels like they've been just operating without restriction. So we take what we can get. Ro Khanna at least is working on trying to release the Epstein files, like the full list of the Epstein files, and trying to make sure that people are brought to justice if they were perpetrators in such illegal actions, which is something you think the Republicans would want to hear, but they don't actually give a shit. That's the only dub. That's the only dub that Ro Khanna gives us, to be honest. He's going to need to be replaced at some point. He's essentially the second coming of Nancy Pelosi. That sounds like shit. Like, that sounds like shit. I'm going to give Ro Khanna a little bit of grace because it's probably not as bad. But I will say, his district hasn't really changed that much in a really, really long time. So, Ro Khanna, whatever, we'll chill on you for now. If we can run somebody against you, then we're going to have to beat a lot of money. We're going to have to beat the most money coming out of the most wealthy district of all time. It's gonna be so fucking hard, but maybe it'll happen in the future. Ro Khanna, cool. you're here, bro. Just don't be a full fucking op, bro. I don't really give a shit what you do. Just don't be a fucking op to your, fellow Californians and your fellow black and brown communities. That's all I gotta say. So Randy Villegas, our boy from Kern County, bro. Our boy from Kern County. We're preying on this guy to make a fucking dent. He ended up in second place in this primary at 25,361 votes to David Valadeo, the incumbent, 32,086 votes. I'm assuming that the votes that went to Jasmeet Baines, that 21,000, is going to go to Randy, and Randy's probably going to win that district. That's our guy, okay? Kern County, let me fucking give you this fucking steaming energy beaming out of my frontal lobe. Like, this is your guy. Push this guy to the finish line. He is your guy. I have nothing much to say. I'm going to support Randy as much as I possibly can. We're going to do a whole episode on the list of ops that we got to look out for. But Brad Sherman, I know for sure, is not a clean guy, right? He ain't taking clean money. The mayor of LA, this is a very important city. It's the largest county and the largest city by population, by size. The LA area is the most population dense and most diverse and rich cultural part of California. For some reason, we're voting in incumbent Mayor Karen Bass being able to pull the strings that she does in terms of voter suppression and deflate people's ability to advertise their campaign on a mass scale is really powerful. Rachel Huang was my ideal candidate to win in this election, and unfortunately she only got 25,163 votes. I don't know if that's an accident. I don't know if Nithya Rahman is actually that good of a candidate, but I would like her to win over Mayor Karen Bass because we deserve more than a fucking do nothing. Like, Becerra's gonna win, but we deserve more than Becerra. And it's the same thing with Mayor Karen Bass. Like, she kind of just sits there. She kind of just oversees everything. She's kind of late to the party in terms of, oh, LA is getting like rated heavily by ICE to the point of, they're just being random arrests and brutality all the way around. Oh, hey, let me do fucking nothing. Let me send LAPD to fucking protect ICE facilities rather than the public at large. Mayor Karen Bass is just she's just a do nothing, right? I don't know what she did in terms of the compensation for the fires that happened in the Palisades. That was a tragedy in which she was out of state for. No one can really blame her for being out of state. And I'm assuming she tried to do rapid response as much as she could. But a lot of insurance companies fuck people over. I really don't know if any of those people got their money back or their homes back. I don't know what the rebuild process was in that area. I don't know how heavily involved Karen Bass was. But Spencer Pratt lost, so that's a dub. That's a dub. Big takeaway is that we're not fucking Tel Aviv, bro. We Californians, similar to New York, Oregon, Washington, we are the final bastions of democracy, right? We're the only people that understand the interworkings of the structure of government and how we can't just create a cycle of dissatisfaction for the public to experience for the betterment of people that don't deserve it. You can akin this to class warfare or whatever the fuck you want. The most important thing is that us as Americans should not be able to be bought this fucking easily. And the reason why this is the case is because none of you guys fucking do your own fucking research. They've made it so easy for you guys to do melt ice trackers, AIPAC money trackers, who has actual grassroots funding, right? Who takes zero corporate PAC money. There's a lot of people that talk the talk, but only a couple of people walk the walk. But you're not looking for those people. You're looking for the answer to come to you for free. And this is the grand issue. It's going to go on for another 10 years, right? We're finally paying a little bit more attention. We got a lot of content creators trying to educate you guys and meet you guys where you guys are at, short form content. But at the end of the day, it's fucking you that needs to have the conviction to want to enact change. It's becoming extremely difficult to decipher who's good, who's bad, who's a sleeper agent, who's bought by AIPAC lobbyists, right? It feels like there's like a new list coming out every single day where we can't really trust our initial instincts or gut feelings when it comes to particular candidates. I, for one, I'm going to admit that firsthand. I said in previous videos, and you can clip it here, maybe I'll insert it here, that I thought Jasmine Crockett was going to be like our greatest fighter early on, right? In terms of the way she speaks to actually combat the idiocy of what CPAC is going to try to put at the forefront of what is the next 2028 election. I thought she was going to be the girl to actually finally like talk to people in layman speak similar to Trump. She can effectively get a point across without making it overly complicated. I thought that was going to be really good effective messaging for the American people so that they knew exactly what she was talking about. But apparently we're all fucking wrong. She's the fucking op. She's AIPAC bot. Ever since she lost her Senate seat, even though she's still a congresswoman, she's just been promoting other AIPAC candidates. She's promoting the AIPAC candidates running against Cori Bush, right? And Cori Bush was ousted and bought out in her former election, even though she's of the people for the people. And this is just going to continue to be the case. California, this is our state. This is not BB the fucking bomber's state. This is our fucking state. We live here. We're the ones that have the say in what goes on around here, right? Not some foreign entity. So when I tell you that Brad Sherman, Jimmy Gomez, Scott Peters, and Dave Min have all taken around $4 million from the state of Israel in order to win their elections or end up wherever they ended up. I'm telling you right now in plain English, those individuals are ops. If there's a Democratic option, you should promote the opposing Democratic candidate that is running against them in the midterms. You have to. Or else this genocide in Gaza is never going to stop. Palestine, along with Lebanon, along with Iraq, Iran, is all going to be fucking reduced to rubble or going to have to make some really, really hasty decisions in terms of what are they going to do about this foreign entity that continues to get funding from our state, from our tax dollars. If we don't want random billion-dollar packages to go to the Israel Defense Fund so the IDF can just kill innocent children and bomb fucking preschools and shit like that, then we're gonna have to fucking pay attention, right? To all the fucking paisas out there, right? To all my fucking Chicanos that live in the state, bro. Ponto los pinches pilas and fucking listen, fucking research, fucking follow platforms. Ask your fucking children if they're smarter than you, right? We don't have to have fucking generational superiority complexes. Go fucking go to where the information is at if you know someone is far more informed than you and fucking keep up to date. We gotta make it count. So like I said, Brad Sherman, Jim Gomez, Scott Peters, Dave Min, all ops. If there's a blue candidate running against them, vote for that person instead. And then we have our legacy ops, right? Our legacy ops that we know that are already have congressional seats that we need to oust or run people against or just completely ignore and deplatform entirely. So we have people like Jasmine Crockett, we have Hakeem Jeffries, we have Nancy Pelosi, who's already going to give up her seat, so that's good. But it doesn't mean that her political influence isn't still respected in her region. She doesn't deserve to take over the Bay, right? She doesn't deserve to get to decide who wins or loses San Francisco, right? It should be the people. Chuck Schumer, Cory Booker, all these people, we know they're fucking ops, right? They're fucking AIPAC ops. They're people that are shilling for a different country that is not our own, and they're not acting in our best interest, and they are acting in the interest of a foreign government. And there's going to be more. This list is only going to increase, and so we need to get that information out as fast as possible. You need to get it to me faster than I can look for it, so that way when it comes to the midterms and it comes down to November where we really need to make a decision, we're all good to go. As much as I'm more concerned of my own state, the immediate blowback that would happen if AIPAC was able to buy my state, we obviously should be trying to help other states in their ability to decipher whether or not someone's a op, whether someone has the best interests of their city in mind, or whether they are already trying to make deals with special interest groups and they don't really give a they're just fucking playing the field. They're only Democrats in name only. In New York's election, Jack Schlossberg is 1 billion. I'm not saying this because of his last name. I'm saying 1,000,000,000% he is not for the American people. I will insert the clip so that you guys can see that this guy could not even utter free Palestine when asked. This is, to me, is already like a clear-cut pro-genocide motherfucker. He's already said that he's willing to still hand out defense packages, etc. We need to fucking drill this guy into the fucking ground, right? Along with every single other person that is willing to fucking commit treason against the United States for a fucking bag. Because unfortunately, all these people are running for office now. So New York, pay attention, be vigilant. Jack Schlossberg is not your fucking guy, okay? So fucking get rid of that guy. Fucking send him through the fucking political wood chipper and just like forget about that guy. Forget about about it. I hope to bring you new information in the future. I'm going to keep taking a look at this document and going to each and every single individual website for the candidates that I'm unaware of through our 50 different congressional districts. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be work that's going to have a positive payout for the future. Okay, I'll work on that. The boys will be back for the next episode, and they're going to help me out with delivering that information effectively and hopefully be a lot more entertaining than I am. Right, I'm kind of just a face that like acts as the moderator to make sure things don't go, too out of hand, right, between what MacD produces and what A705 is willing to say as tangentially to what the subject is at hand. That's typically my job, but we all got to step in at some point and like try to make sure we maintain the constant promotional news cycle that needs to happen so that way just Americans can thrive in general, you know? That's all I got for you guys today. Tune into the next episode. It's going to be very interesting. Going to be a lot of information, and I wish all of you guys a wonderful day. So once again, this is Alan 4G signing off.